the low. Let's get it. Run it up. Check the scope. Money talk, money mo. Yeah. Main crew say they weed it. Kicking down the door. Run it up. Check the scope. Money talk, money mo. What? Main crew say they with it. Kicking down the door. Let's go. And switch the whole lane when I'm driving the machine.
Hey, are we live?
Yeah.
My goodness, I got nothing on my screen here, so that's why I'm just kind of hanging out, looking at myself. Apparently, I just saw us pop up and looking ridiculous. But what's going on, brother? I can't see anything right now, but we got the new setup, and we're in the new house. I thought everything was working, but we're just going to roll with it. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I can see you. I can see the background. I can hear you. Could be good.
So
Could
we're
be
just
bad. Depends on what you're about to say next. But everything's working out in the interwebs. So,
all right. Well, let's just keep rolling with it. Apologize for the pause at the beginning, but what is going on? Heavy Pour Sports, late night Wednesday, new time, an hour early. 9 Eastern. We'll have T on shortly. Selena and Drew are out today, but we have a World Cup final Sunday. It is set, ready to rock and roll. Messi and Argentina just cannot be denied. They are inevitable, even when their backs are against the wall and it seems like they're out. Messi magic just happens, and England collapse happens. It's just you can almost bet on it if you choose to. What'd you think about the match today? And then we'll get into the Spain-France just beatdown.
yeah. I mean, I thought today the match was probably one of the best World Cup matches I've ever seen. And I know it was a little boring for a lot of people the first 60 minutes or so. No score in the first half, but that was kind of to be expected. I didn't think there would be maybe a goal, but I didn't expect much the first half. And then England kind of had themselves in a good position, but Argentina started pressuring and then started attacking. And then after they tied it, they subbed in more attackers and had guys playing in positions they don't normally play in to generate more offense, more pressure in the attack zone. And as usual, England collapses. They've been blowing leads for 250 years now, so I don't know why we expected anything different today. But the late push by Argentina was, if they play at that level, they can't play at that tempo and that pace throughout a match. But if they can play with that same type of intensity and put some pressure on Spain, they will give them problems. I don't know that they will be able to beat them, but we're looking at possibly a repeat World Cup champion. So,
yeah, I mean, late as that thing was going, England scores early in the second half. And then they seemingly were able to hold off anything that Argentina was coming. Subs by Argentina kind of changed their entire game plan, and then they were on the attack. But as the clock ticked closer to 90 minutes, I really thought we were going to get a repeat of the England-Mexico game where Mexico had a lot of chances, but they couldn't put it in the back of the net. But then, like I said, what Mexico didn't have is a Lionel Messi. And while he didn't score, he created both those opportunities. I think he had both the assists with great balls. And you could see his play change too with about 10 minutes left to go in regular time, where he had been playing the middle of the field trying to win 1-on-2, 1-on-3 matchups. And then he went up to that right side and just started putting balls in on crossers and whatnot. And he got got both those goals to happen. And it was unbelievable to see the England fans and Beckham and up there, thinking, hey, they're finally going to get to a final in the first time in 60 years or whatever the hell it's been. And then just taking it from them. Tale of two different emotions there, where England is defeated in the last 5 minutes and Argentina is rejoicing.
Yeah, they did not handle the pressure well in the second half at either end. Defensively, they couldn't get out of their own way, and then certainly Argentina's attack was too much. And credit the England keeper, because he made some really incredible saves that game could have gotten out of hand, because Argentina didn't let up off the gas until extra time. So the fact that they, were able to hold that to a 1-goal game was pretty impressive, quite honestly, because there was just shot after shot after shot. And we've seen England's defense kind of get shaky throughout this tournament. Their offense has been really good. Their defense has been questionable. I was afraid might be their undoing with Mexico, as you mentioned, down the stretch. Well, today it certainly was. And the difference, though, between Mexico and Argentina is the depth of that team and the number of talented players with the ball in their possession. It's night and day different. So I don't think they'll have as easy of a time with Spain. I think Spain has been extremely dominant on the defensive end. Show they can flex a little bit of scoring when they need to against France. Spain was kind of my horse out of the gate. Going to try to ride that on across the finish line. So I actually picked Argentina in that match originally, way back. But the way England had played and Argentina looked like they were kind of struggling a little bit, I sort of drank the English Kool-Aid. And as an Irishman, I'm ashamed of myself. I should have known better.
So I don't know the history, legacy behind the England-Argentina hate rivalry. I didn't know that was a thing until the matchup happened, and they had been talking about it leading up till today. I was fully bought in on Argentina and Messi. One, I like the story of Messi going back-to-back. Thought last World Cup was going to be his swan song. He decided to come back, and he obviously still has it. But on ESPN's football show / soccer show, whatever country you're in, they talked about Messi had done everything except for able to, last time they played, I guess he made his debut, but he was on the bench, didn't get on the pitch. Correct. So he had done everything for Argentina except for this massive moment against England. That was really big for the country. And they were like, Messi is inevitable. He is going to make sure he puts his mark on this game so that they not only get to a final and have a chance to go back-to-back, but beat England, and he's able to solidify himself even more in Argentina soccer when it comes to beating this rivalry in England. So I don't know if you know the history and background of why that's a thing. Maybe they were just two really good soccer clubs back in the day, and they battled a lot. I don't know. But that won me over when they talked about him and just knowing kind of Messi as the GOAT, going to have that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant mentality of like, I'm going to win this thing no matter what. Now he waited till the last minutes to do so, but he carried this team to that win, and he seemingly solidified that last piece that's needed for Argentina soccer history.
Yeah, I do not know the background and the story at all, other than just they've had beef. And I text you about 3 minutes into the match, it was already getting chippy. We already had guys pushing and shoving and jawing and getting up in faces and all. And credit the head official and really the whole officiating crew. That was one of the better officiated matches, and he tried to get control early, which is what you need to do, because knowing that rivalry, the history, and they already, it's such a short time into the match, already getting into some shoving and jawing. So I thought the officiating crew did a great job as well. Excuse me, but it was kind of bittersweet, I guess, in one sense that, I mean, I could care less about England. Let me just put that out there. But bittersweet in the fact that they didn't make it to a World Cup final and then get their ass beat. So, but massive shout out though, again, to Argentina for, and honestly, completely outcoached England in the second half as well, especially probably the closing, 20 minutes or so. Just the substitutions they made, the game plan changed, the attack, everything they did, England had no answers for.
Yeah, so I was going, before we get to Spain and France, I was going to bring that up. So it's the whole, if you try to compare it to American football, it's the, hey, I got a lead and my defense isn't playing well. Do I stay, coming forward and trying to, whether it's, getting to the quarterback or stopping the run, playing the same thing, or do I go prevent defense and give up some yardage, but also give up a chance for the team to build momentum and score? That's seemingly what England did, right? Every time Argentina would put in a sub that was offensive based, they would sub to put more defenders out there. And next thing you know, it's 1-1, and now you have less people who can go and score on the England side. And now you're down 2-1, and now you got no chance. So you clearly didn't like that, and I don't either. It's like if you're able to put pressure on Argentina like you had been, and that had gone away a little bit in the second half, but you had been playing a pretty good game. Possession was the same. You were up a goal. Why not just play the way you have been playing all game and not give Argentina a chance to control possession and keep getting crosses and keep putting shots on goal? Because eventually they're going to go in. When I saw those substitutions, yes, it worked against Mexico. They were also down a man, so they were a little bit hindered, or I guess they were handicapped to have to play that way. But I didn't like, and I'm assuming the English manager is taking some heat right now for those substitution patterns of, hey, just keep playing the way you've been doing, because we were winning and we could have won. Worse, we go 1-1 and we get some extra time.
Yeah, not 100%, because the one change that stood out to me was when what's up, Drew? They subbed in this big 6'7" lurch looking feller, which is fine from a defensive standpoint, but it didn't take Argentina long to net that goal. And then once they did, 6 minutes later, they netted another one. So now England's here, people talk about playing not to lose. That's not what they did. What they did was they played not to let the other team lose. And that's exactly what happened. So I thought it was brilliant coaching job by the Argentine manager, and just an absolute wheels fell off the wagon for England.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say about that is the England team had history of Argentina doing this very recently. So you also have to use that to your advantage too, of like, if we try to play a certain way, we know Argentina can get back in this game very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So, and Whiskey, I appreciate it. Yeah, I know we got some little feedback problem trying to get that figured out. So we started late. I was trying to work it. I don't know what's going on. I will fix it after the show. Exactly with me staring at a blank screen right now. But seemingly everything's working. We'll work through the technical difficulties as we push through the show. Shout out to Coach Evans for jumping on. We got to get you on here, man, as we approach football, real football season, college football, 45 days away. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But Spain, France, I was very surprised. I know Spain had not given a goal all World Cup, clean sheets throughout. Their defense is very good, but France had been buzzing. Mbappe was killing it. That they have so many offensive weapons on that French team, and they couldn't get anything going. Were you surprised by that? I know you've been on Spain from the jump, but were you surprised that France looked the way they did, or Spain was able to make France look the way they did in that game yesterday?
I was a little surprised at how dominant they were and how inept that juggernaut offense of France has been this whole tournament. I don't know if Spain was just kind of coasting the first part of the tournament and then kind of like the Dodgers, like, we know we're good enough to get there. But once they got to quarters, semis, and they just absolutely turned up on defense. They opened the stove eye wide open. And you could tell the frustration of the French, especially offense. Mbappe was, I thought the order, there's a bet that you can make. It's order of finish, right? So I had Spain, Argentina, France, and England. I don't know that the French are going to even care enough to show up for this match for third place, because they were absolutely just like they had their souls snatched from them. And Spain just absolutely clamped down. I don't think I've ever seen anybody dominate the way they did against that good of an attack. I think that surprised a lot of people. I think a lot of people, me included, thought both teams would score. And it might go, somebody might win late in extra time, or this thing would have went to PKs. I thought at least it'd be 1-1. No, France never really were a threat, honestly, in that match. I've never seen anything like that from that level of, a short odd favorite going into this whole thing, to be there at the end and to get absolutely just embarrassed like that. Mind blowing. Yeah. Didn't expect it.
No. And I didn't know until, again, the lead up of this match yesterday, Spain's coaching changing the Euro Championships, and this dude hasn't lost a game or a match since he took over as a Spain Youth Championship coach. And we talk about this a little bit with the U.S. struggles, and they in our development and style of play and whatnot. They were talking about how Spain's youth clubs, all the way up to their big-time international games, the philosophy, the way they play, all of it, how they train, it's all exactly the same. So these dudes are coming up in this farm system. They've been coached by this guy, and now he's just implementing the same philosophies at the biggest stage, and it's working. And it's working because they've been doing it for years and years and years. And they also have big-time wins and the confidence to know that the way this guy coaches and his tactics on the pitch are going to work. And it's defensive focused with some, counter opportunities to put up goals with dudes who are very talented at, on the offensive side too. So it seems like they have the best of both worlds. And what's it, Lamel? Is that they're the 19-year-old? Like, yeah. He has been obviously involved, but he has really been the one scoring the goals. It's been everybody else. So if he has a game Sunday where he finally breaks out and has his, World Cup international moment, Spain's going to be tough. But again, how do you count out Messi and Argentina? So how do you see this thing playing out Sunday? I think T's going to jump on here soon because he's the guy who's really in love with soccer. So I want to get his take on this too. But if it was Spain, England, I think I could easily throw money down and say Spain's going to win this thing. You know, it'll be in the 90 minutes. They're going to find a way to cancel out England. I don't see England scoring. It'll be a 1-0, 2-0 game. This thing will be over in 90 minutes. But now with Argentina, it's a little bit harder for me to say Spain is a clear cut. Curious to see what the line is. It might already be out. But how do you see this thing playing out? And, okay, it sounds like the line is out. What is the line? I'm assuming Spain is the favorite.
Spain is the favorite. Right now it sits at minus 150. The buyback on Argentina is plus 130. So a little bit better than a coin flip, in my opinion, odds for Spain. But I'm going to try to put this in some terms of that we can relate more to, you and I especially. Spain's like Floyd Mayweather. Like, you're not going to see a whole lot of flashy offense. You're not going to see a lot of dazzling, passes and wild goals scored. But they're not going to give you anything. They can sit there all night long and just play defense. And then when the moment and the opportunity presents itself, boom, they can strike. That's what they did with France. And I don't think, and you just talked about it, I don't think their system can be broken down to the point where Argentina can do what they did today and do what they've done to other people throughout this tournament and just basically we're going to attack, and we're going to score at will. I don't see that happening with Spain. They're too good defensively. It's very system and process driven. They, as you said, they build their foundation for their team on defensive play. Good defense beats good offense most of the time. So I'm sticking with it. In fact, I doubled down on it today. Before this match ever started, I bet Spain again. So I think Spain is just going to be. This might be a 1-0 game. It may be to the casual fan very boring, but when you look at what Spain did to France, and arguably one of the better scorers in soccer right now on the planet, and just completely took them out of the game. As good as Messi is, he can't do it by himself.
Yeah, and Argentina has been playing with fire throughout this entire tournament, getting down early. You're not gonna come back from Spain. I don't even think you can get down 1 goal to Spain. Like you have to hope this thing's 0-0 late, and you can and Messi can just do something special.
And I don't know, not to interrupt you, but I don't know that Argentina's defense is good enough that if Spain does get up and Argentina's throwing everything they can at them and they happen to tie, I don't know that Argentina's defense is good enough. When Spain kicks into attack mode, I don't think they can stop them.
Yeah, it's going to be curious how Argentina game plan going into this one is, because do they just say, hey, we saw how the game ended against England and we just go all offense and try to put a lot of pressure on Spain and try to prevent those counters as best we can. If they're going to happen, we try to defend as best we can with more offensive firepower on the pitch? Or do they try to match it and just say, hey, we're going to play defensively, a defensive game plan, and we'll just take those counter punches, and it's kind of a boring match throughout 90 minutes, but they hope they can get one breakout opportunity or a couple breakout opportunities where someone can score. And if I'm seeing what I saw in the last 15 minutes of this game, I'm like, how do I not just try to throw out a bunch of offensive weapons and say, like, let's try to get up and score early on Spain and then maybe adjust from there. Because, yeah, if you go down 1-0, especially in the first half, or, sometime early in the second half against Spain, and they're able just to put the clamps on defense, no way does Argentina find a way back in this one. They're not going to be able to live like they had been for the whole Cup.
Yeah, but the issue is, that's what I was laughing about. So, I love Coach. The difference is, though, Argentina's not going to be able to set up those attacks and those runs the way they did against England, because they had England on their heels. And England was kind of, especially after that first goal, they didn't really know what to do. I think they were sort of lost in the moment for a bit. So they're not going to be able to rattle Spain. They're not going to be able just to go down the pitch at will with all these, crosses and passes and kickbacks and workarounds and kick the ball ahead and run around. That's not going to happen. So they're going to have to earn it. And again, I don't know that their defense is good enough that if Spain does get a lead and it gets tied it up late, I don't know if they can handle a Spain flipping the script and going attack mode versus just sit back and counter.
What's up, T?
What's up, T?
Yo, what up?
Hey, so we've been in full soccer mode. We talked about the game today, Argentina's late rally again, and then we talked about Spain dominating France. We'll start. We'll let you go in on today's game first. Messi does what he does. Argentina magic continues. England collapses. What'd you think about today's match as seemingly England played their way out of a way to the final?
I don't know what it is that Argentina has. Like this little last 5 to 10 minute barrage that they keep doing on people, that has to be studied. Like this thing is going to go down in history. So I mean, it's the middle of the day, so I was working and stuff, and we had a ton of interviews. So I only got to see when the barrage started. So I didn't really see England crumble because I only saw that. But what I could tell is that they were up 1-0, so they tried to just sit back and just absorb everything that Argentina was throwing at them. And Argentina has too much skill for you to sit back and do that. Spain could probably withstand that, but they're probably the only team in the world that could do it. And then, like you said, Messi, it's really interesting to see because we're definitely seeing the soccer version of LeBron. You know how when LeBron went back to Cleveland, you saw that he started picking and choosing his spots of when to exert full effort, and then you would see him kind of pick and choose his times to rest and recover. Messi's doing that now. He's not like running around all over the place. He'll just kind of walk and chill and just scope things out, and then right at the perfect moment, because he's got the highest of IQs, he turns it on and then he makes it happen. So perfect cross from him on that second goal, and then just an absolute bazooka on the first one. But if Argentina kind of gets in a hole against Spain, like they've been doing the last couple of games, I don't think this little last 7-minute barrage thing is going to work the way it has on everybody else. But it's still really impressive how they do it.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Like, you can't get down against Spain. Like, their defensively. If they score on Sunday, I think we'll all be impressed if they can just do that for the first time against this team all Cup. But then talk about your thoughts on Spain dominating France. Hammer and I were both very surprised. Like, I wasn't sure how that game was going to play out, but I did think both teams are going to score. I thought it could be, at least a 1-1 game, probably a 2-2 game. We get some extra time. That's an extended one. Maybe even go to PKs because they both seemed like they were coming in very hot. They were coming in very hot. France just fizzled out because of the pressure from Spain. Did that surprise you, or did you expect that from this Spain team?
I didn't expect it. I don't know that fully surprise is really the answer because Spain has had France's number, I think, like the last 5 years or something, 3 years. Like Spain has been beating France. So I thought France was my favorite to win it all. So I'm not surprised that how do I put this? I'm not completely surprised. I didn't think it would go that way, but it doesn't blow me out of the water that it did end up going that way. I didn't think it would, but it wasn't outside the realm of possibility. Mbappe also came out with some comments, not happy with what their tactics were. He wanted more man-to-man instead of like zone type stuff, and I guess they weren't doing that. I think it's really difficult to play zone in soccer because dudes just come flying in on crosses and runs from nowhere. Whereas if you just mark up with a guy, watch him go where he goes. Obviously, there's just like in basketball, there's benefit to man and zone, but to me, zone is really difficult in soccer because dudes just be flying in out of all over the place.
Yeah, and it seemed like their issue was more on the offensive side. I don't know how that translates on the offensive side, but they had no opportunities. I mean, there were a couple of shots on goal, but really there was never a chance where I think Spain or anybody watching thought, oh, here's France's run right now. They just had no shot to equalize that thing once they got down. Am I still with y'all?
Yeah, I was trying to play with the camera a little bit.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on this final?
Go ahead, Hammer. I've been running my suck.
Oh, I said most of my piece before you got on anyway, so that's perfectly fine.
He's been riding Spain all the way. He doubled down on Spain today. Yep. I think Spain's the better team. It's going to be tough for me to. Yeah, it's going to be tough for me to. I think my heart is going to roll with Argentina. That's who I'll be rooting for. I don't know that I have I have confidence in it to lay money down Argentina. Spain's probably the better bet, but you rolling Spain or Argentina here?
Yeah, I lean Spain because again, I mean, multiple teams have shown an ability to get out ahead of Argentina, and I think if that happens, you're not coming back on Spain the way you have your last couple, Morocco and whoever. So, no, I think it's Spain.
Well, we shall see. Hopefully, it's a good one to close it out. I do think it's hilarious that these two teams that lost today have to go and they don't get to go home. They have to play a third place game like they actually care. That's the worst. 90 minutes of run around on a soccer field for no reason.
Yeah, and France and England don't necessarily like each other either, so I think it's even funnier that that's who they get to play is each other.
But we'll move on. I know I'm wearing my TBT shirt. I know Tennessee's not playing. I don't know. Have you guys been on Twitter seeing some of the basketball tournament La Familia news that has happened over the last 2 days?
No.
I figured you would at least be on there, to troll BBN. So we have had now 2 players drop out of the tournament. And Reed Travis with a back injury. It stinks. We're some of the legacy Kentucky guys we were hoping were going to show up for this thing aren't going to be there.
Yeah, that other guy
TBT has run its course.
Was joining. He didn't play. What's his name?
Who's that?
The guy with Migos. What's his name?
Migos.
Yeah.
Who, Quavo?
Yeah, that's him.
What about
the Kentucky version of that?
Oh.
Yeah, well,
what's his name? You know what I'm talking about? Y'all are all excited that he was gonna that he was coming. It was the mystery player, the silhouette, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's so and so."
Oh, Quade Green.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's out now. Family matters. Sorry, I was
Quade
blanking. I was like, what are you
Quavo.
talking? Quade Quavo. I should have put those two together.
I was going to Kilo Green if you didn't come up with something. So
Quade, yeah, that I, 20's got I think he's got a tough job trying to put this roster together. He's going and got to find guys who have Kentucky backgrounds but aren't still in the league or can play, from overseas. Willie Cauley-Stein's last ride is this one. He's a Kentucky favorite. The first 2 years he put together a great squad. Nate Sestina, his performance against Louisville was great. The Harrison twins, being out there now, we only got one this year. Khalil Whitney, Archie Goodwin, like these guys coming back and getting a second chance to play for Kentucky. Bledsoe, year one, like he's got a good. This year though is unfortunate so far. Now there's supposed to be maybe some surprises by Saturday of guys they're reaching out to. Marcus Lee, he is on the roster now. Played in the Cal era, so he'll I'm assuming back up Willie at the center spot. But all we got to do is figure out a way to beat Louisville. This new format where you got 3 games, you got to win 2 best-of-3 series. You got a home and home, and then we'll get the third game if there is one because of ticket sales. If you beat Louisville, it doesn't matter who you put on the court. If you beat Louisville, it's TBT's a win, right? That's a successful La Familia run for TBT. You can't lose to Louisville. We haven't done it yet. If you lose to Louisville, and we've had some roster setbacks, I agree with Coach Evans that TBT might have run its course.
Wait, you think TBT is hinging all on Kentucky?
Kentucky and Louisville have grown TBT significantly. The reason why they're able to do this new tournament style and the reason why you have more of these alumni teams coming to TBT is because of the millions that both Kentucky and Louisville have brought to TBT. I don't think you go back and look at what it was before La Familia got started. Now this is year 3 and the Ville got started. Viewership, money, all of the things. The reason why it's been able to expand is because of the state of Kentucky and the legacy, historical basketball community that we have and how we rally around basketball. That's a fact.
Can I ask a legitimate question?
Yes, please do.
Does anybody watch this?
Yeah,
I do.
I mean,
I intentionally do not watch La Familia because I don't care about them, but I watch all the others.
Yeah, I didn't even know this thing existed till last year, and that was just vaguely. And then, I mean, obviously, it's pretty big within like the Kentucky fan base. Obviously, and I get that. When that's the only sport you got to hold on to it. But I did not realize that it went beyond just like Kentucky and Louisville and that kind of thing. I didn't. Where is it on television? Working out. Not that I would.
I think it's TNT.
I wouldn't watch it.
it's Fox and Fox Sports this year, I believe.
Okay.
So in 2025, Fox averaged 404, so call it 450,000 viewers amongst all games. Streaming viewership, they're saying, grew 129%. So over the last 2 years, there has been a 67% increase in folks watching TBT.
Okay. So 500,000 people. I mean, that's not bad for glorified pickup basketball.
I'm going to look up the Louisville, Kentucky numbers here.
So with Coach Evans saying that it's run its course, it's interesting to me because the pot has gone up by $1 million. So that certainly signifies that it is not run its course if you can afford to give more money. But the fact that you're overhauling the format and all that, are you getting desperate? Are you trying to change it up to grow? Like I'm seeing two kind of mixed messages from them, because making it a best of 3 thing when it was a NCAA March Madness style tournament, those are 2 very different products that you're presenting. March Madness style or elimination style. Those, I don't know. Are you desperate? But then when you can add an extra $1 million to your pot, that seems like you're doing all right.
And I'm assuming that extra $1 million is sponsorship money, because I think each team has to pay into the tournament, which creates the initial pot. And now this extra $1 million is probably sponsorship money.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah.
450,000 viewers on Fox on average. The highest rated game was the championship game last year, Aftershock versus Everlane Drive. The 2024 La Familia game had 265,000 viewers. So half of the viewership is coming from the Kentucky Louisville game, if I'm doing my math correctly.
Well, if the average viewership, is that per game or is that total for the tournament? The 400 and some odd thousand.
That's average per
game,
peaking at an average of 450,000 viewers on Fox.
And that's per game on average.
Yes, and the highest average was the championship game.
So Hammer, we had a team in 21, and they were called the Ballantiers or Ballantiers. And on paper, looked like a good squad. It was Chris Lofton, JP Prince, Jawan Smith, Cameron Tatum, Bowden, Lamonte Turner, Bobby Mays, Wayne Chisholm, Tyler Smith, Duke Cruz, and John Fields, and Ron Slay was the coach. So on paper, I was like, oh, we're about to make some noise. And then we promptly got bounced in the first round, and that has been our lone entry. But on paper, we look good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say it on here, but if I remember, I almost vividly remember Skylar McBee, because I get irritated every time I see his name. But I think he was on it too.
So that's the other thing with these TBT teams. A lot of them are playing full up year round with each other. So you can have these alumni teams, and it's growing. So now more, and especially this new tournament format, these alumni teams are facing each other. So it's the playing field's a little bit more even, but you can put together a squad of legacy Tennessee guys, but they get like a week's worth of practice, and they got to figure out how to mesh and, do all these things and play against a team that's actually like been going for months at a time, playing in different tournaments. And, like the D3 team, I'm pretty sure these guys link up multiple times throughout the year to play. So they understand each other. The chemistry's already there. So you got a hodgepodge group of big names, but are they going to come together and figure out how to play at a high level in a week's time?
Yeah, Skylar McBee did play. I double checked. He was on the roster. He just prettiest shot ever that never went in, except against Kansas. He made a huge shot against Kansas when they were number 1, but other than that, never went in. But yeah, there probably is a good little mixture of chemistry and all that. But what's cool, Hammer, is like a bunch of these guys are dudes who are playing overseas and stuff. So again, it's dudes that can hoop. Like it's not scrubs out there, but it's clearly a pretty. I mean, we're talking UFL, NFL type difference.
Oh, sure.
But the boys can play though. It's not a bad watch, especially for summertime when there's nothing else going on.
I got you. Okay.
I'd say check a game or two out. At least give it a chance.
Yeah.
And in any format, any level of play, the Elam
except for when Kentucky plays.
awesome.
You don't need to watch them.
Well, you throw it on there. You could, even if you're rooting against us, jack up those La Familia numbers. The Elam ending though, like I love the Elam ending.
I love the Elam
I
ending.
love the Elam. It would never work in the league. Like you can't do that, but for these 3-on-3 tournaments or for something like TBT, it's perfect because the team is never out of it, right? You just hey, there's a, and especially in today's game where the 3-point shot will kill you, but also bring you right back. Like you have teams that just need a 3 to win, and they start chucking them up and they miss. They go on a cold streak, and the other team can get back in it. And next thing you know, we got a ball game, or the team who's down hits a bunch of 3s and they're right back in it while the other team is struggling.
Do you remember the first year in the NBA All-Star game they incorporated the Elam ending?
It was it was the year Kobe died, right? Because it was 24.
Kobe didn't die in 24.
No. I thought that was the year they did that. Maybe they'd already done it, but they added 24 points to the final score.
I got you. I don't remember the year, but I remember the All-Star game was trash as always. The first 3 quarters were horrible, and then the fourth quarter turned on and they did the Elam ending, and that's when LeBron and Giannis were going at it, and like the dudes were actually being competitive, and that's what everybody really wants to see is pick up basketball from the best players, and we finally got to see it. It was. I mean, there was only 1 quarter of competitive basketball in the All-Star game we've seen in the last 20 years, but it was awesome. I'm a big fan of the Elam ending also.
Yeah, it's a good way to end a ball game. I like it. TBT, it's one of those things where what else is on, right? Unless you're a NASCAR fan on the weekend, like this is really it. Yeah, baseball is going to hit the second half after the All-Star game, but it's just one thing that can carry sports fans, basketball, college basketball fans. It carries us a little bit. And, when you got a team in it, like our alumni team, then you can really get invested. We're leaving Friday night, driving 8 hours back to Kentucky. Jay and I will be in Memorial to watch the game. I was hoping there were going to be more guys. I was really excited for Kirk Reese on the team before his tail got arrested for fraudulent, whatever the heck. Stealing money from people because that was a guy who, like Jay remembers, one of Pope's first dudes. I got a Kirk Reese jersey. I was thinking about still wearing it, but that's probably not in good taste. I shouldn't do that as this dude just got arrested. I was like, that might be funny, and then I was like, probably less funny than I'm thinking. Not the guys we thought were going to be on the team, and maybe we'll get some surprises. The worst part is we got to play Russ Smith, and this dude, doesn't matter how old he gets, still balls out. Like this dude every year, I think he plays 3 games a year, and it's all in TBT, and every single time the dude just goes off.
Russ Smith is a baller. Hey, this Williams dude that's playing for the Celtics Summer League team, that was y'all's big man 2 years ago, right?
Yep. That was Pope's first get when he got here. I'm watching him right now.
The British, he's an English dude, right? He's from England? Yep. Yeah. I knew he looked familiar. I just couldn't remember why. But yeah, Kentucky guy.
He's gonna I think he's gonna make a presence here in the league this year. He got a couple opportunities for the Celtics off his 2-way this year and played pretty well. And now he's been dominating in the summer league right now. So we'll see.
So is Chad here. Just throwing that out there.
So we'll talk summer league. I was going to talk MLB All-Star game because we just talked about Elam ending. I thought the home run derby was phenomenal this year, and it hadn't been great in the last couple of years. At least in my opinion, this year I think they elevated it. But the summer league, what are your thoughts on it so far? I got in a back and forth with somebody when I said Bronny James should be playing in the summer league, and if his last name wasn't James, he would be out there hooping. But what do you think so far about some of these? This highly touted rookie class. Darius Acuff playing great. Mikael Brown playing really good. His back seems to be just fine. And then AJ DeBansa and Peterson, like all of them seem to be playing pretty damn well for their squads. I don't know how much of you watched so far, but what are your thoughts on the rookie class and or some sleepers in this summer league?
Not enough to. I've been watching it enough to like act like I really, really know. I've watched a few games. Caleb Wilson, rookie of the year, though. I got to call it now.
He looks good, man. He looks really good.
I'm more so thinking about like fit because Chicago, the Bulls are going to run through him, right? Like with AJ, you still got Anthony Davis and Trae Young and other guys who can do some things. And in fairness, I don't really know the Bulls' full roster, but I feel like things are going to run through Caleb Wilson. And they're going to run through Boozer as well in Memphis, but you got a better roster, I think, because the Bulls have had some high picks in the recent years, whereas Memphis is just now starting their rebuild. And then the Jazz, like the Jazz are the Jazz. So and people have pretty consistently talked about how Caleb Wilson has like the highest ceiling out of everyone. So if his start to summer league has been any indication, I'm gonna go ahead and if I were a betting man, that's where I would throw my money early.
Bulls got to stop with their anointing him the next MJ though. It's already out there on the internet.
Yeah, it shouldn't do that anyway. Like just let him be a great for your organization and just be the first Caleb Wilson. Like trying to make somebody the next Jordan. That's just, especially he's not even a shooting guard. Like that's stupid. That's dumb. He's going.
You don't think I agree with you, Caleb Wilson. I think it's going to be Caleb Wilson and Darius Acuff who are going to be fighting at the end of it for Rookie of the Year. I've been big on Acuff, but I think it's the same kind of thought process that you had about fit. Like Acuff is going to be a dude, potentially even the dude by midway through the season for Sacramento. Now that Fox is gone, yeah, they still have Monk, but like
in Zach LaVine.
But Zach LaVine's not like ball dominant wing. Like Darius Acuff's gonna have the ball in his hand all the time, right? Like he's gonna have points and assists to LaVine. He's gonna have guys to get the ball to. When it comes to just Rookie of the Year, I think Caleb Wilson will be at the top, but I think Darius Acuff's gonna be on his heels.
Yeah, no, I mean I don't think it's a runoff for Wilson or like a runaway. To your point, these dudes can play, so there will be some competition. But I like Wilson. I liked him at UNC. He just was at a school I don't care about, but he can play. He's really, really good. What do you think, Hammer?
For a not great coach, fortunately, Hubert. Yeah, Hammer, what's your thoughts?
I don't love it, but right now, if I had to pick and make a play, it would be on Peterson, just because of his shot creation, and I think he's going to get a ton of minutes. He and Boozer have the shortest odds at plus 300, DeBansa at plus 4, Caleb Wilson is at plus 500, and then Darius Acuff's the only other player that's in under 1,000, and it gets pretty long after Acuff. So I definitely think it comes from that group, and you could make an argument for each one of them. I think would be hard to dispute because you expect all these guys to be pretty impactful, be on the floor quite a bit, get a lot of minutes. But I don't know. I think we didn't really get a true valuation, I think, of Peterson because he missed so much time in college. But what I did see from him, the guy looks like he's NBA ready.
He's special. He is special. He can go.
He can create his own shot. And I know defense isn't necessarily a priority in the NBA, especially early to mid-season NBA. It gets a little tighter down the stretch, and obviously they put a little bit more emphasis on it in the playoffs, but the playoffs won't have an effect on this award. So I think Peterson is going to absolutely set the league on fire. So that would be how I would play that.
How much does team success impact Rookie of the Year?
It doesn't really.
Because,
if he-
Dallas wasn't very good, right?
and his team makes the playoffs, and he carries his team, then obviously, yeah, it would have some bearing. But I don't know that it has that much bearing on it, honestly.
Yeah, probably not.
Because when you look at Cooper Flagg, and quite frankly, man, I mean, it was that last couple of weeks of the season that he won that award. I thought it should have been Knipple the whole time.
I agree.
But he had.
I wonder what Colin Knippel's odds were at the beginning of the season. It must have been plus 1,000.
Had to be
or more. Yeah.
Had to be. Because I think all eyes were on Flagg from the start. And had he not had those couple 50-point games, I think Knipple wins that award.
I agree.
But
agreed.
And he did them at the right time also. It's not like he just had a couple 50-point games. It's like right before voting.
Yeah. So that recency kind of weighed heavy. And, if he'd had those in December and March, I think there's no way he wins that award. So.
Yeah, people would have forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talk about this when it happened. Yes, Cooper Flagg was the big name. Yes, he had big games, 50-point games, and meaningless games. Still think Knipple, for his total year, what he did, should have won the award. But,
Yeah, and the impact he made on the team, because I know LaMelo was a big factor in that, but I think Knipple was too, because there was times when LaMelo was either off the floor or hurt, and he was steady throughout the majority of the season. So I felt like he got robbed of that award. Josh, you're right. There's not a lot of meat on the bone when you're looking at the top 4 or 5, but I will tell you something right now. If you like any of them, get them now, because it's only going to get leaner.
Yeah, I mean, what was Caleb Wilson plus 500? That's not bad.
Yeah, 5-1.
Yeah. Drop a little pizza money on that one and see what happens.
Yeah, give it a go.
All right. MLB All-Star Game. The game itself sucked.
As usual.
Yeah. I don't know how you have a team of all-stars and can't score a single run on one side. That is embarrassing as hell. Glad I didn't even worry about watching. Didn't even have it in the background. But the Derby. I love the Derby. You get 20 swings first round, 15 swings the next 2 rounds. It's not timed. The fan base was able to ooh and ah over every single hit instead of especially someone who's not going to be there watching from home. The old time method, they'd hit one and then they'd pan right back to the hitter, because you couldn't even watch the ball travel and see how far it was going because it was just time. They were just going out of it. They had one time out. It was silly. This year, getting back to just the 20 swings. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, move on. On top of the Schwarber-Walker finale and the way that thing was over and Schwarber was winning in front of his home crowd, and then this dude clutch when there had only been one homer with that magenta ball, which I don't understand. I know T-Mobile was trying to make some money, but why are we changing the ball for last pitch? That's probably the last thing we should change here, because now that we can see it anyways, we don't care that it's got a T-Mobile logo on it or whatever the hell it is. But the Derby was great. I loved it, especially the fact that I won a bunch of money. Comparatively to what I bet on it, on Jordan Walker. Shout out to ChatGPT, who told me to take a home run, pun intended, on him. But what did y'all think about the home run derby?
I didn't watch it, kept up with it. It sounded like it was fun.
You didn't watch it?
No.
When we were texting back and forth, I thought you were watching it because you had some money on it.
Yeah, I was keeping up with it, but I didn't watch it.
Oh man, it was as a non-baseball guy, I thought it was pretty electric. It's even the Netflix coverage, like all of it, it was all kind of new. Netflix did a great job with it. The people who had on there, commentating, it was all good. T, you probably didn't watch it, I'm assuming. All right. Well, that was a good pick transition by me because I'm the only one.
I didn't even know it was happening until I heard about it on the radio the next day, and they were like, "Yo, the home run derby was so awesome!" And then I saw some stuff on Twitter about the guy that won. Prize money is more than his contract, which I think is dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even know this was All-Star Weekend for the MLB, man.
Yeah. I will say the format change was a win for sure, because that time garbage that never should have happened to begin with. That was horrible. So I'm glad they changed back to a more traditional home run derby format.
So T, let me paint the picture for you. You had Schwarber, who's the Philly guy, right? He had a rough first round. He comes back out the second round, kills it, gets to the final. He goes first. He's got 15 swings. He bombs 11 of them, right? 11 home runs on 15 swings. Everybody's feeling good about it. Jordan Walker, that's his first name, I think. Jordan Walker from St. Louis.
Yep, Cardinals.
6'6", big old son of a gun. He's been cool, calm, collected the whole time. Comes out, struggles a little bit. He's got 15 swings. He's got 8 home runs. Now the little nuance to it is you can't end on a home run. So you got one more ball left, which is this magenta ball. If you keep bombing home runs, you get to keep going. So he's got 8 home runs. I think maybe it was 9. No, it was 8. He had to hit 3. So he bombs the first one, makes it 9, bomb the second one, makes it 10, bombs the third one, ties it up. So at least we're going to have a swing off. And then with this family, and then from mom, dad, sister, grandma was there in front of all of them, he takes that fourth pitch and boom, smokes it out of the park, wins it. And the Philly fans were, it's the first time I can remember just a loud barrage of boos during a home run derby. I mean, they were just killing him at this last at bat, and pressure didn't get to him at all. He was down, and when he needed to have it, he just cool, calm, collected, just dangers out of the park and wins this thing. Like you said, it made some money. His whole family was there after Netflix. His grandma was there crying about how they told a story of his first home run, went out of the park and crashed grandma's windshield or something like that. Now it was a cool moment.
So I mean, I don't think any of us are really baseball guys, but let's compare home run derby to the slam dunk contest, right? Both of them historically massive events for the sport, right? Obviously, nobody likes the dunk contest anymore because there's nobody with, no names that go with it. So this guy that
LeBron James' fault.
I don't disagree. So now nobody will do it, and you got this guy who ends up winning, but I'm assuming he's a no-name guy because he's not even making $1 million a year in baseball. Is that going to hurt the home run derby if you start getting more of these? You need big name people. Want to see the big name people. So even though this dude put on a good show and all that, just like Mac McClung, dude does awesome dunks and he's really entertaining to watch, but nobody cares because NBA fans don't watch Mac McClung. Could that potentially hurt a sport that's already hurting, but could that potentially hurt their biggest event?
So Hammer, correct me if I'm wrong. We traditionally have the big names in the home run derby. It just, we were unfortunate this year that these guys were hurt. Aaron Judge has been out for the last month with a broken rib or something like that. And so other big names, but we had Schwarber, Bryce was out there. Harper was out there.
Kevin
so we had bigger names, at least if you follow baseball, like big ball hitter guys that were out there. Your Shohei had been out there previous years. I don't know if he's hurt right now. Why he wasn't? I don't follow it closely enough, but I think traditionally on the baseball side in the home run derby, we have the big names that baseball followers want to see.
Yeah, that's what Coach Evans just said. He said no because big names participated. So
yeah. Yordan Alvarez didn't participate. Ohtani didn't participate. Already talked about Judge. So that kind of opened the door for, and Jordan Walker is not necessarily a no name. he's still playing on a rookie contract, so that's one reason. That he's only making like I think it's somewhere between $700,000-800,000 a year. I think is what he's getting paid this year. So that $1 million home run derby more than doubled his salary for the season, which I thought was great for him. But he is one of those rising stars. The guy came up a couple 2 or 3 years ago. So he, not no name, but he's not a household name either. So, but that opportunity for him to get in there because some of the other guys didn't hit, and even some of the big names like Murakami, for the White Sox, I thought he would have a better showing than what he did. And then Jack Gaglione, the dude from Florida, absolutely choked. Yes, it Gaglione, not Caglione. That was intentional. Florida.
He's a big old son of a gun too. Golly.
He's just raw power. And you and I talked about it. That was one of my bets that he would be under in 9.5. Nailed that because if he can get some discipline at the plate, he'll probably be a really good player, a good hitter for a long time. But he's a little reckless and just relies on power more so than technique, placement, things like that. So that I just didn't expect him to do well. But they needed to put a couple of these young guys in this to get them some exposure because outside of St. Louis, not a lot of people know who Jordan Walker is. So
yeah, he's a household name now.
He is now. And typically though, all of the big guns will be in there, but it just didn't work out that way.
So Jordan Walker's got 22 homers on the season. And the dude that Hammer convinced me to bet on, which I can't believe I did. If I had looked at his team and knew he was a Yankee, I knew he would have choked. Ben Rice has 29 homers on the season. Jordan Walker's tied for 10th in the MLB. Ben Rice is 3rd in the MLB for home runs. Gotcha. Hammer, I just thought I'd get a little New York Yankee jab at you there for a little bit.
That's okay.
Isn't that Coach Evans' team too? Yankee?
I believe Coach Evans is a
Coach
Yankee.
Yeah, Coach is a Yankees fan. He's got good taste. Yeah, Rice was terrible. He absolutely the moment got a little big for him, which is unfortunate because he's been on a tear this season.
All right, I just made up a game for y'all real quick. If we want to. It's a king of the hill. All right. And I'm going to participate too because I just made it up just now. So we've kind of done similar, like the hypothetical trios type thing, but we'll do king of the hill basically. So 3-on-3 versus 3-on-3, and we'll see which team emerges from the top. I tried to get 3 from UK, 3 from UT.
All right, Coach. I'm scrolling up to your comments here since you for some reason your time's on the AM, so you got to play too. I'll put the comments.
And his time doesn't change. It just says 8:36 every time.
Yeah,
like it's not even adjusting.
Coach Evans is caught in a time vortex or something.
Yeah,
he is. All right. So first matchup: AD, the Brow, John Wall. And Dan Issel, which I don't know anything about that guy. He's an old-timey Kentucky guy.
No, come on, man.
All right, verse Bernard King, Dale Ellis, and Ernie Grunfeld.
Ooh.
And it's hard because we know about the Tennessee guys better than you, and we'll be biased with them, but we all know about the Kentucky guys.
I think everybody knows about Bernard King and Ernie Grunfeld.
Yeah, of course. But you said Dan Brow, and who was the third for Kentucky?
John Wall.
Oh, come on, man.
This is 3-on-3. This is not 5-on-5. John Wall gets to be faster than everybody else and just fast break all the way down the court. This is 3-on-3. That is not really tailored to his skill set.
But you got Dan out there on the block. AD stretching out. You're not scoring either one of these dudes. John Wall's still going to be able to do what he do.
Who's not scoring?
The three you just said for Tennessee.
Bernard King will score on any and everybody.
They better be able to shoot from way outside.
No. Bernard King is giving the business to Scottie Pippen, Kawhi Leonard, and whoever else you could think of.
Look at that. You just don't know.
No, you don't know.
Dan's one of those OG exciting whites.
Hey,
so is Ernie. What are we talking about? So is Ernie.
Yeah.
The only thing wrong with Dan is he keeps dunking on Coach Pope. He was not happy with last year. That man would come out and say some mean things about our coach and the team.
I'm torn on this one. Hammer, for me, I lean toward the UT team because I think in a 3-on-3 situation, John Wall is a weak link.
Did you just make that in chat right now?
Yeah.
Ask her who would win.
No, because then I'm going to lose the rest of the rest of the game.
Yeah, and Dale Ellis held the NBA 3-point record for years. Reggie Miller, I think, was the one that finally broke it. And Dale Ellis, 6'7". Like, he's not a small dude. 3-on-3, I think the Tennessee crew wins it. I was with you on Wall and AD until he dropped these three.
That honestly, like, just trying to take bias aside, I really think because we're playing a half court game, John Wall hurts y'all.
Yeah, it kind of negates some of his strengths.
But also remember, this is only the first matchup. It's not like Kentucky is dead. Like y'all don't have to pop your red star clusters yet or anything.
So give me your Tennessee one more time.
Bernard King.
Okay.
Arguably the greatest ball ever. Ernie Grunfeld, the other arguably greatest ball ever, and Dale Ellis. Are you asking AI who's going to win that matchup?
Yeah, plug that in, see what it spits out.
Huh. The first group is considerably stronger overall. Here's why. Anthony Davis is the best player in the group. Dan is a Hall of Famer who scored 27,000 combined points in the ABA and NBA. Greatest power forward centers of the 70s and 80s. John Wall, despite injury, shortening his peak with a 5-time All-Star and one of the league's elite point guards.
Yes. So it is not taking into consideration John
Wall.
Wall.
I'll ask. This is a 3v3 half court game. Yes, I talk like I type. This still says Dan, Johnny, and AD. I'm sorry, chat says it, man. I don't know what you want me to do.
I don't want you to lean on what chat is saying when you know it's wrong, but that's fine. Whatever. I want to keep it moving. This is an incredibly strong team from UT. I don't think Kentucky wins that one, but that's fine. We'll move on. All right. So it's still your Kentucky team. So AD, John Wall, Dan Issel against Boogie, Devin Booker, and Rondo.
Ooh.
I think you got to go. I'm going to go Boogie, Rondo.
And Booker.
Yeah, I mean, Boogie isn't stretching the floor, but he's eating Dan alive in the paint. Oh, it'd be like Shaq playing whoever.
It's him versus AD, right? And then it's probably Booker versus Issel, and then Rondo versus John Wall.
No, Dan. I mean, AD's probably stretching the floor a bit more. He's not going to be posted up on the block. Yeah, my personal thought is it's Booker, and I'm biased to Booker. I love him. Biased to Rondo, and I think Boogie is able to handled at that 5 spot, whatever we're calling it for.
Okay. All right. So Cousins, Booker, and Rondo move on versus Tobias Harris, Grant Williams, and Allen Houston.
Help me with Allen Houston's game.
Oh man, sweet shot. Honestly one of the better shooters in the history of the NBA. Now he was more of a mid-range assassin, but he played early years with Grant Hill in the Pistons, and then went on and had a great career with the Knicks, which is actually still part of. He's like the Knicks president of player development or something like that. Was he an SEC Player of the Year? He might have been an SEC Player of the Year too. Allen Houston. He's from Kentucky, by the way. But Allen Houston, he's so good.
You don't know who Allen Houston is?
Let me just look, man. I'm right now talking to you. No, I don't. Let me look up his picture.
Coach Evans, I will never listen to Jason Whitlock.
I know who Allen Houston is. Yes.
I would hope so.
He was not named SEC Player of the Year.
Okay.
He was a first team All SEC selection and a tournament MVP, but he did not win Player of the Year.
Okay. So I guess this one we really got to think about matchups, right? So I guess Grant is probably guarding Boogie, even though Tobias is taller.
Grant Williams.
2-time SEC Player of the Year, Grant Williams. Right. Yeah. Even though Tobias is taller, Grant probably guards Boogie, right? Tobias guards Booker and Houston on Rondo. We're a lot bigger than the Kentucky team besides Boogie. And
nobody's guarding Allen Houston.
Nobody's guarding Allen Houston. And Rondo's probably the best defender on their 3, but he's also significantly the smallest on the court.
At 3-on-3 defense, not.
I think defense is significantly more significant. That doesn't make a whole. That's super redundant.
3-on-3.
Yeah, because there's so much more space. Like your one-on-one defensive ability matters a whole lot more. Because help side, they got to come from way further away than in 5-on-5.
Yeah, I mean the only matchup that I like I'm confident about is, I mean, if they're able to get the ball to Boogie, he's going to eat Grant Williams alive.
No, he's not.
Come on, man. You remember Boogie?
Man. I know.
Come on.
I don't know about eat Grant alive. I mean,
will he get his? Yes. Will he dominate Grant Williams? No. Grant played way bigger than 6'8" in college.
Yeah. I think we take this one, Hammer.
I'm good with that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we got more. All right. So Tobias Harris, Grant Williams, and Allen Houston versus SGA, Cat, and Jamal Murray. Now, remember, we're talking about in college. So SGA at UK is not NBA SGA.
Yeah.
But Cat was a problem and Jamal Murray was a problem.
And Murray could play that shooting guard spot. SGA would play point.
Cat's kind of the one that pushes it, that nudges the needle towards Kentucky for me on this one.
I just need to know who gets the ball first. I don't feel like either side is stopping. I don't feel like either side, because I still don't think any of them are doing anything with Allen Houston. And now Tobias only played his freshman year, but he was really good. So to me, it's whoever gets the ball first. This one's a coin flip. This is a really good matchup to me.
Yeah, I mean SGA wasn't what he is now, but he was still very good.
Yes, definitely not a bum. That's not what I'm trying to imply. But it's hard to think SGA and not think what he is now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of how special he is now. But Tobias has been pretty consistently the same person since his freshman year of college through year whatever he is in the NBA.
The thing that Cat has that Boogie didn't is like, and even in college, again, not what he's doing with the Knicks now, but he could take Grant off the dribble. Like he's big enough, fast enough. Like he didn't have to just play in the post. Like he could come out. He could, he hit a three, a decent clip in college, but like he can get out and put the thing on the floor. Very skilled big man, even away from the basket. And going back, Boogie Cousins is 6'10", 270. Grant Williams is 6'7", 230. Boogie is eating him alive.
He's not.
We disagree on that one. Y'all won the round, but we'll disagree on that one. I agree with Hammer. I think Cat's the difference here.
Okay. All right. So you got SGA, Cat, Jamal Murray versus Dalton Knecht, Admiral, and Chris Lofton.
Oh man.
Oh, y'all win that one.
Yeah, I think that's
debatable.
That one's right because we got two killers on offense.
Yep.
And then Admiral just gives you well-roundedness that you need, some grit, some strength. He can play big. He can play a little bit smaller on the wing. That one's a strong one. Okay. So DK, Admiral, and Chris Lofton move on. De'Aaron Fox, Eric Bledsoe, and Monster Mash.
Oh,
one of my favorite Wildcats of all time. I love Monster Mash, man. Him and Bledsoe, Fox, and Mashburn. To me, that's Tennessee, just because Fox and Bledsoe. Now, Fox is just so fast, but he's got some deficiencies defensively.
Yep.
How much do you value point guard play in 3-on-3? Because you got two very good ball handlers. De'Aaron Fox is like,
I don't, because I mean, think about big three. Like it's three different people that are going to play one-on-one, and then if you double, you kick it out. That's what 3-on-3 is basically going to be. You don't have a point guard needs a whole team to orchestrate and create and all that. With three people, your ability to do that isn't.
Screens and
so who's going Jamal Mashburn?
Admiral would guard him, and he wouldn't. Monster Mash would win that matchup, but Admiral is who would be on him, and Admiral he'd give it his darndest at least, but Monster Mash will win that one.
I think you've got two of the most prolific scorers, not just in Tennessee history, SEC history. And I think Admiral's good enough to muck it up. He's not going to stop Jamal, and the thing about all three of these players, they played for Rick Barnes. Defense isn't an option. They will be in their face. So I don't
I thought Chris Lofton was Bruce. Did he play for?
It was Bruce Pearl. You were correct.
I just saw this comment from Coach. I missed this one. I'm gonna take this as a compliment because of my
that one shot you hit,
my outside shooting ability.
I still think this goes the UT way.
Well, in that case, I am outmatched, so we'll move on.
I just think you can take advantage of Fox, and then Bledsoe. I mean, I guess Bledsoe is on Chris Lofton, but De'Aaron Fox is not guarding. Like, Admiral would do better against Monster Mash than Fox would do against DK.
Right.
You think?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I don't think that's a question.
I mean, DK gets the bucket, but he ain't like Swift. No one thought he's like super He ain't quick.
But he doesn't have to be because he's so much bigger and stronger than Fox, and he's also skilled and crafty, and he can shoot.
All right. I'll lose gracefully on this one.
All right, DK, Admiral, Chris Lofton against Zakai Ziegler, Jordan McRae, and JP Prince.
I still think it's Lofton, DK, and Admiral.
It does. It's a better matchup than people who don't know UT would know, particularly because, I mean, you know about JP Prince by who his cousin is, and they're pretty similar players. Jordan McRae, real long, strong NBA career, very good defensively, and then we know about ZZ. But yeah, no, I got to give it to DK, Admiral, and Chris Lofton.
I agree. I think 3-on-3 O is going to be D all the time.
Yeah. All right. So DK, Admiral, Chris Lofton versus Julius Randle, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Tony Delk.
I don't like Randall and Willie on the same team. But, man, I mean, again, Julius Randle is going to body whoever you put on him.
It'd be DK because Admiral I don't know. Hammer, I might actually put Admiral on Julius Randle because he plays so much more volleyballish.
Yeah, more aggressive.
Yeah. And then DK on
DK would get ate up by Julius. You'd have to put Admiral
on. Yeah.
I agree with that.
But, I mean, who's going to stop the Willie Cauley-Stein lob threat? I mean, it's Tony Delk, certified bucket.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's another one where offense beats defense, and just so who is stronger offensively out of these six or these pairs?
Yeah,
so who's stronger offensively?
The middle is going to be clogged up. Julius Randle could come up, but he's not stepping out. He can do it now in the league. I don't know what his 3-point percentage numbers were at UK, but off the dribble, you're not going to stop him in the paint. You're not going to be able to stop Willie Cauley-Stein from getting to the or living above the rim, especially back when he was at UK.
Yeah, he was special there for sure. So, who wins, Tony Delk or Chris Lofton? Who wins that matchup?
I mean, I'm going to say Tony Delk.
Tony Delk was really good. He was really good.
I know. That's why I didn't just immediately say you crazy. Man. Well, if we say that's a wash, if we say
okay, I'm good with that.
I know we need a tiebreaker if it comes to it, but I don't know.
I like calling that a wash.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's not even.
So Julius Randle versus Admiral.
I'm going Julius there. But that means you got Willie having to guard DK. And that's where you all would win that matchup.
Yeah.
Like Willie can guard the perimeter, but I don't know. I mean, does the length bother DK?
Yeah, not somebody as special as DK though.
Because even if he gets by him, like one of the best shot blockers we have seen at the University of Kentucky, Willie Cauley-Stein.
Sure, but DK's not laying it up. Like he's going to hammer it home. I think it's going to come down to Julius Randle and Admiral, and who's going to win that. Now, Grant, everything ran through Grant, so people kind of forget that Admiral had some pretty decent offensive ability. But then obviously like stuff was running through Julius too. That one's a tough one. That one's a tough one for me.
I think in 3-on-3, if it's this close, you say who's the best player on the court. And I think you have an argument that we all would agree on that Tony Delk is the best player out of the total 6 on the court, which would give Kentucky the advantage to win that game. That's it. But I know it's tough to say that he's not as good or he's better than Chris Lofton.
Well, I was thinking DK. I mean, for what he was able to do that 1 year, man, that was prolific. We got more. We were sustained more with Tony Delk and Chris Lofton. That 1 year for DK was
agreed.
Something.
So all right. So say you got Delk and DK going at it. Who's winning that matchup?
I
think Delk can probably put up a better fight defensively than DK. DK stinks on defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't say liability, but he cannot.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point. I think in the end, his weakness defensively will tip it Kentucky's way. That was a good one though. All right. So Randall, Willie Cauley-Stein, Tony Delk versus CJ Watson, Yves Pons, and Vescovi.
Come on, man.
I didn't make the team. That one goes Kentucky.
Yeah.
You said Vescovi, and I'm like, we win that game.
He is the most underappreciated Tennessee ball of all time, in my opinion. I love Vescovi, but
he got a lot of unwarranted criticism.
Yeah, but he's not he's not taking us over these three. All right, Julius Randle, Willie Cauley-Stein, Tony Delk versus Tyler Hero, Brandon Knight, and Tayshaun Prince.
Brandon Knight, Tayshaun, and Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like that's completely two different built teams there.
Sure is. I don't think this is as hard as.
It's not that hard for me.
Yeah.
Who are you leaning then?
Julius, Tony, and Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know as much about Knight. That's one reason. The other reason is I just think that three-headed monster is going to take a pretty special team group to knock that group off, and I don't think this is it.
And here's and the Tyler Hero crew, they're going to live off the three besides Tayshaun.
Yeah. And
you're going to miss a three more often than Julius getting a mid-range bully ball, Willie Cauley-Stein getting in there, and Tony Delk. Like they're just going to get significantly higher percentage stuff more often.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay. I buy it.
All right. Randall, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Tony Delk. Ooh, I like this is going to be some battle here versus Ron Slay, Scotty Hobson, and Kyle Alexander. So you're going to get Kyle Alexander versus Willie Cauley-Stein. You're going to get Slay versus Julius Randle, and you're going to get Scotty Hobson versus Tony Delk.
I mean, that's tough. Well, it's tough for me to take the Kentucky bias out of it, but
this is a good matchup, and these are similarly built teams. That's why I like it. So, Randall and Willie Cauley-Stein were both one and dones, right?
Willie played two, I think.
Okay. This is what makes me lean. I'm not definitive, but it's what makes me lean the Tennessee way because all these guys stayed, got experience, and is like a fourth year Slay gonna be a freshman Julius Randle type thing.
Man, that was tough. I mean, Willie Cauley-Stein got to a Final Four back-to-back years. think he was SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
So
He might have been an All American in 2015.
Maybe but who were his point guards? Because he played with some dynamic folks, didn't he?
But he was on that 2015. He was on the platoon team where we had that, the 31 and not done, and we lost to Wisconsin in the Final Four.
Oh yeah, the Kaminsky. That's the one thing that's tough about Kentucky is it was just kind of like those Alabama football teams. It's just talent everywhere, and so every person is able to look maybe even better. Not to say that they're not good, but maybe you look even better because you're just surrounded by talent, right? That's why like every Alabama quarterback looks so good and wins a national championship and then goes and can't do anything in the NFL. Because you had a great running back and you had great receivers and great O-line. And was there not that he can't play, but was there any of that with Willie Cauley-Stein? I don't think he didn't work out in the NBA.
Andrew
play. I know he had some off-court issues that really hampered things. So he could play. But how much was he elevated by so much talent around him?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he had Andrew was his point guard. Tyler Lewis came off the bench. So yeah, he had two great point guards, at least, especially in college, the college level. Julius Randle in college was unstoppable, man.
Ron Slay was something though.
Yeah, agreed. Ron Slay was nice.
I'm a little biased here because that's my favorite. That's my favorite fall is Ron Slay. So he's the Jawan Jennings of Tennessee basketball.
Yes, that's a good comp.
We might have to go to the chat on this one.
We might have to because Scotty Hobson was nice too, and he was a McDonald's All-American. He's another guy from Kentucky.
Yep.
But he was a McDonald's, and so I think Delk maybe wins that matchup, but he's not like Scotty's not just bowing down.
Yeah.
And Willie Cauley-Stein maybe has Kyle Alexander, but Kyle Alexander also could play, and he got his shot in the league. And he was the 5 in the Grant and Admiral and Jordan Bone years. He was our center. I think it comes down to who we think wins between Slay and Randall. And you're right, Randall was super good, but again, in a fourth year Slay versus a freshman Randall might be the tipper.
All right, so I said at their college peaks, not NBA careers, Julius Randle, Willie Cauley-Stein, Tony Delk, Ron Slay, Scotty Hobson, Kyle Alexander. How it plays out. Dang, she laid it out for us. Randle versus Slay. A terrific matchup. Slay was stronger than people remember, but Randall's combination of strength, quickness, and rebounding gives him a slight edge. Cauley-Stein versus Alexander favors Cauley-Stein. Both are excellent defenders, but Cauley-Stein was more mobile and impactful offensively. Delk versus Hobson is close. Hobson has more size and athleticism, but Delk was more efficient scorer and much more dangerous shooter. My pick.
Yeah, Hobson was a slasher for sure.
My pick, Kentucky wins 21-17.
Okay. I
the
think
best overall player on the court, Randall, by a narrow margin over Slay, is what the chat said.
I guess I just work to it. It's just a freshman Randall versus senior Slay makes a big difference to me.
So I did say peak.
Yeah.
And then it says at their college peaks, this is much closer than if it were NBA comparisons. NBA comparisons, she says
there isn't one. Yeah.
21-13, Kentucky.
I don't even know that it would. I don't even know that it would be that.
Maybe worse than that.
Yeah. But see, and I'm curious what it deciphers you when you say peak, because I feel like it's just looking at stats. And I mean, it has to because it's a analytical thing and it can just pull data. It's not like it can watch the games and compare stylistic play.
You can't
So I'll type in use Ron Slay's senior year. Still says Julius Randle's slight edge, Ron Slay's senior year.
Yeah, I would think because again, Julius Randle probably had better stats.
But you gained yourself 2 extra points, 21-19, so you got closer.
Okay, all right, we'll defer to the chat. So the king of the hill of the hypothetical trios: Willie Cauley-Stein, Julius Randle, and Tony Delk.
So now I got to ask because I still think. So if we do Randle, Cauley-Stein, Delk, versus it was Anthony Davis,
John Wall.
Whoa.
I don't think we paid that Bernard King, Dale Ellis, or Ernie Grunfeld team enough respect.
Yeah, agreed.
Dang. I think we at least on the Kentucky side, we might have jacked that up. Anthony Davis, Dan Issel, John Wall wins 21-16. In the best of 7, I'm taking Davis 4-2.
So what's their matchup? So AD versus Willie Cauley-Stein.
So
Issel
John Wall
Julius
versus
Randle.
Delk. It says edge John Wall. Delk was an elite college scorer and shooter, but Wall was one of the most dominant freshman point guards ever. Speed, transition, ability to create off the dribble would be difficult to contain. Anthony Davis for Julius Randle. Slight edge, Anthony Davis. Marquee matchup. Randle was stronger, more powerful offensively, but Davis was the most impactful defensive player in college basketball. Shot block mobility, finishing around the rim, make him more valuable on 3-on-3. And then Dan versus Willie. It's clear edge Dan, which I agree with.
Yeah,
and Kentucky's unstoppable. So that's probably the difference right there. So peak Dan versus peak Willie. That's your Willie's going to be in a world of hurt trying to keep up with that.
But listen to what it said about John Wall. It said transition. Like that is
take that out of it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it talks about speed and transition and ability to create off the dribble will be difficult to contain even in half court.
Sure, but where was John Wall most dominant? Like where was he most impactful and effective, both in college and in the NBA? It was in transition. It was on the move.
Basketball, yeah.
Fastest dude in 2D.
Yep.
Or one of. And to me, it was because he can't shoot. And I feel like Tony Delk is better in a half court set than John Wall.
So I typed in.
Agree with
I
that.
typed in chat. T_step thinks you're wrong about John Wall versus Delk. Let's see what she says.
Tell her I said I'm sorry. By the way, I got to stay on the good side of.
That's a reasonable disagreement. The answer depends on whether you're evaluating overall college greatness or who is more valuable in 3-on-3 half court. Here's the case. So I just said 3-on-3.
But tell it my argument. Like I don't think John Wall's speed is nearly as impactful in this half court. Because the other thing is he's also speed, right? He's not De'Aaron Fox first step quickness. He's getting moving and beat you all the way down to the other end of the court.
Downhill running.
Yeah.
If someone ranked Delk ahead of Wall, specifically for half court 3-on-3, I wouldn't consider that unreasonable basketball opinion. The format rewards shooting and off-ball movement more than full court game does, and Delk excels in those areas.
Yep.
I still lean Wall over Delk in this lineup, but it's much closer comparison than it would be in a traditional.
But it has no
5-on-5
reasoning.
game.
Like that. That one is just I just want to stick with Wall. Right.
Yeah.
So it did do this. It said if I were drafting these players 3-on-3, AD 1, Dan 2, Julius 3, John Wall 4, Delk 5, Willie is 6, which I disagree with because in a 3-on-3 case, Anthony Davis and Dan are the best players on the court, and then you'd it would be John Wall or Tony Delk next. I would say you could make that argument, but if you need a score, that's who you would take in a 3-on-3.
Yeah, and I'm taking Tony Delk.
format.
I'm taking Wall for scoring, sure.
But
I hated Tony Delk.
Yeah, but he could go.
He could. I
Good
respect
go.
that. Respect. But
Yeah.
and that's why, because he was so good. I was like, I hate that guy.
Well, it doesn't matter if we pick the wrong team. Kentucky wins King of the Hill, so we did our jobs.
Very well.
So we'll close out. We got 45 days till college football starts. Exciting times. There was some news. I have no idea what it means for Tennessee football, other than I was hoping to generate some hate between Louisville and Tennessee. But it seems like you had a D lineman flip from Tennessee to now go to Louisville, play for Brom and Vince Morrow. What does that mean for you guys? This is another one that is not coming to Tennessee.
I mean,
care about it? Is it a
he
trend?
never played it. He never played a snap, so you can't. We don't know how it would have impacted us. But we're getting a JUCO D lineman who's the top-rated JUCO D lineman in the country. So I'll make that swap every time. A high school 4-star for the highest-rated JUCO guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I want to lose him, but we never seen anything, so you can't shed a tear about it.
Yeah, can't miss what you never had.
Yeah.
Is it worrisome though that y'all are having a trend, defensive side of the ball, position based, not being able to get these top guys to commit and or stay?
Well, so I think the pass rush is potentially our weakest spot on defense, even if Chaz Coleman stays. Back to not being able to miss what you never had. Everybody was hype about Chaz Coleman, but he's never produced anything. People were hype off his potential. Again, didn't want to lose him or anything like that, but we don't know that we lost anything, and we didn't lose any production from Penn State in losing Chaz Coleman. And then even if we had him, our pass rush was still kind of phenomenal. So, in terms of not being able to land guys, I don't think so. I think he probably got told something by Jim Knowles that he didn't like, or Rodney Gardner or something that he didn't like or didn't want to hear, and he decided to go somewhere else. But if there's anybody that I trust, it's Rodney Gardner. He will make the best out of whoever he has rushing the passer. So losing the kid to Louisville, losing Chaz Coleman in particular are not what make me worry. I was a little concerned about what we had at pass rush regardless, but I'm happy it's at pass rush because we got Rodney Gardner. But I'm not worried about like a trend or anything.
Yeah, same, and especially recruiting, because where that used to be the lifeblood, it's the transfer portal now. So I just don't put a lot of stock in the majority. I won't say all, because we're potentially about to land a generational talent at running back. But the majority of these kids probably going to end up transferring anyway. So I just can't get too bent out of shape either way, positively or negatively, over what a 17 or 18-year-old kid's decided to do. It's just not that. It's not that concerning, quite honestly. Two, like T said, we've got the best D-line coach in the country. I hear our defensive coordinator's pretty good. And we got a bunch of other dudes on this team that want to be here. And, we got Tyrese Weathersby. We got Christian Gass. Jordan Norman. So we've got some dudes. I mean, I'm of the idea that on third down, just put Edwin Spillman up there and just full send, go get the quarterback, because that dude is just explosive. So I know it's our weakest position, but I think our secondary being as strong as it is, and I would put this group of linebackers that we have up against anybody in the country, anybody, with Arian Carter and Amari Campbell. It's good to have pass rushers. You always want to get those big dudes on both sides of the line of scrimmage, but I'm not gonna get bent out of shape about a defensive lineman not committing when we've got when we've got the depth and we've got the coach that can figure it out and make it work. So I tell you who I miss more than anybody, and that's Jordan Ross. I hate that we lost him. If I'm gonna cry about what could have been, it would be him. It would not be a high school senior.
Well, on the Kentucky side of things, not a lot of news the last couple of weeks, but we did get Matt Pontowski, who was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the 18th round. Again, not a big baseball guy. I saw that. I think it was like the 500 or something pick, and I'm like, oh, he's definitely staying at Kentucky. He committed to play for Gatorade, Gatorade Player of the Year at Ohio. Committed to play for both Mingione and Stein. Worried that he wasn't going to show up at first when Stein got hired. Sure enough, he stays committed, and then he goes to the draft. Again, I saw 18th round, and I'm like, there's no way he's staying in the MLB. And I got told, nope, he ain't coming. Like He's got a chance to go play for the Reds. He's going to stay and do the thing. Sure enough, July 15th, today, we find out that he is staying at Kentucky, and we're going to at least have him for a year. Really big for baseball. I don't think it's as big of a thing for football yet because Minchie is going to be the guy. We got Dalrot and we got Pontowski there, two very highly touted athletes, quarterbacks who are going to be battling that out maybe for year two if we don't reach out into the transfer portal or, see, I guess we could have Minchie for 2 years as well. So I think it's big for Kentucky athletics, really big for baseball. And Mingione, he's building a squad for another potential College World Series run. And then also just as Stein keeps stacking up. I know, yes, I agree with you, Hammer, that high school recruiting isn't what it used to be, but we got to go build from somewhere. Stein's got to build and create a bucket from somewhere. If he can do that in high school and retain, we'll see if he can do that second piece. But so far, he is doing very, very well in the high school ranks. Let's see if he can retain getting Pontowski to stay at Kentucky and not chase his dream to play in the MLB is big, at least for this year. We'll see how well he does. He might have a chance. Hammer, how does that work? If I get drafted by the Reds in the 18th round, I go back to college, I just put my name back in the draft the next year and hope I get elevated and get picked up in a higher round?
I think the team that drafts you still has rights to you.
Still has your rights? Okay.
I think so.
I'm assuming they can release that at some point.
I think that is how that works. They have right to you for so long.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, if we want to talk baseball, then after it's all said and done, and the transfer portal departures, transfer portal commitments, and draft class, Tennessee ended up the number 5 transfer class in regard to wins above replacement, which is based on your last season production with players filling the voids.
Can't re-enter draft until after junior year. Sorry, Hammer.
No, it's fine. I figured it had changed in the last.
Yeah, so because he got drafted out of high school, you're right for college. It looks like, Hammer, at a high school, if they don't sign him by Monday, July 27th at the deadline, then they lose the rights to him. But like what T said, he cannot be draft eligible until 2029 or he turns 21 years old. So we'll have him for a little bit. So him staying is bigger news than I had even said just a few minutes ago.
Cool.
But you were saying Tennessee has the number 3 class
5.
or number 5 class?
Number 5 transfer portal class.
So while the fan base may not have faith in your new manager, it seems like the players do.
And that's who matters, right? And I don't understand. Well, I do understand because it's Tennessee's fan base, so I totally understand the nonsense and ridiculous, comments and take on things. But they forget that all them dudes that came and gone through this program over the last 5-6 years, you know who recruited 90% of them? It was Josh Elander. So he knows how to put a team together. He knows how to construct a roster. So,
well, I look forward to late June of 2027, June 2027 timeframe where I can get excited about baseball again. I think that's when postseason baseball starts. That's when I'll really start diving in and paying attention to what's going on.
You mean Major League Baseball?
No, I will not care about Major League Baseball. Doesn't college conference games start mid-late May? For college baseball?
Into March, 1st of April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that time frame. Whenever that time frame happens.
So.
What are you talking about? I just heard what I got. We got a squad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What's our transfer portal ranking?
In what? In baseball?
In baseball. Whoa, the Kentucky Wildcats men's baseball features one of the premier incoming transfer classes for the upcoming season, ranking number 4 nationally according to D1 Baseball's Net War Matrix, number 10 nationally according to On3 Sports. Oh! Might want to take back what you just said because we might take the whole thing this year.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
College Baseball World Series, College Football Playoff. Final Four. Oh my goodness! What a year it's gonna be! What a year it's gonna be!
Oh my goodness! Tell you what, I tell you.
Well, yeah, we knew it was coming.
I had to. You all been looking at me, so I'm telling you. I promise you, right now, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Preseason, when we do it, whatever, we make it official. 7-5 will be the most outlandish that I get. I promise.
I don't believe it.
Now, if we beat Bama and LSU in the first 4 weeks of the season, yeah, I'm coming off the rails at that point. But until that happens, I'm gonna stay a little more composed than I have in previous years.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We'll wrap this thing up. Kentucky fans, if you're going to TBT, I know we're kind of disappointed in the roster. Hopefully the surprises that we're going to have by Saturday pan out, but you got tickets. You're not going to sell them for much now. Show up in the whiteout against the Ville. Again, it doesn't matter who's on the court. Beating Louisville is always fun. Let's knock them out of the tournament real quick, and then whatever happens, happens after that. Oh, we beat Louisville, we'll be good. If we don't, that super sucks. And we'll just move on like it didn't happen. But show up, show out in the Coliseum. It's a great venue. Wear your white. Cheer on the Kentucky alum. Can cheer on the Kentucky boys who didn't go to Kentucky but are from there. And then the other cats that 20 brought on the team. Hopefully they mesh, and we can get 2 quick wins. Let's beat them in the Coliseum, and then let's go up to Louisville and smack them around too. That'd be great. Don't even let them play a 3rd game. But gents, appreciate you joining me. We'll jump back on Saturday from happy hour. I will be in Richmond, Kentucky, so I'll be remote again. We'll see how the Richmond, Kentucky Wi-Fi goes, and maybe by then I can figure out why I can't see anything on this daggum screen.
Very good.
T, you join us Saturday? You join us for happy hour?
Yeah, I should be around. Unless we got a new baby here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, well, I guess that gives you a pass. Outside of that, though, no pass.
Fair enough.
All right, Hammer. Well, I know the staple. You're going to be there Saturday. So I'll at least see you, and we'll see who the rest. Hunter Sanson might be joining us. He said he will come on. We'll see if Coach Ryan wants to go on. Coach Evans, it's been too long. We got to get him on the show too.
Yeah,
so we'll try to put together a big roster post TBT game 1 because I know the Tennessee fans are just super stoked to talk about that. But as always, go Cats.
Go Big Orange.
Go Vols.
Go follow Heavy Pour Sports on YouTube, TikTok, and X. Peace.